Greetings, and now we are going to look into Act 1, Scene 6 of My Children, My Africa. And I hope you have been reviewing the acts prior to this one so that you understand the build up of the plot. And in this act, this way we get to see Thami's monologue, and I've said that in literature you can also call it a soliloquy. Now, in a monologue, Thami sings a song in Xhosa, his native language, about going to school and hearing the bell ring. When he was 7. He used to sing this song on his way to school in the morning. He loved school so much that he would show up early. When he was only 10, he wrote his life story for an assignment, and in the context of the play, they call it a composition, which was a name for an essay, what we term now as an essay. Back in the days, it was called a composition. Right. Now, he's going to use this monologue as a form of reflection where he is reminiscing about his childhood, and we get to know the young Thami. Through this monologue, we also get to know his primitive ambitions, his initial dreams and ambitions, and we need to also read that closely and critically in such a way that we compare and contrast the Thami that we see now and the Thami that we're going to see post the scene, and compared to the young and vulnerable Thami who was now in this scene miraculously, or should I say interestingly enough, he confesses that he used to love school, and for now, or should I say at this point in time, we know that Thami is not a fan of school anymore, as he has said and vehemently expressed that he is not a fan of school no more. Now, in this monologue, Thami bursts into a song about going to school, as I've already stated, and then he reflects on his life as a young boy and how he wanted to become a doctor. Thami portrays himself as an enthusiastic learner, how much he loved school, and that he wanted to be a doctor so that he could help his members of the community. He was passionate to assist. Pardon me. In this earliest, so it means that in his earliest memories, Thami felt a strong sense of belonging and responsibility to his community, including both his ethnic group and the broader racial community of Black South Africans. Hence, he wanted to become a doctor simply because he wanted to be of great assistance to the members of his community. The monologue expresses Thami's opposition to Bantu education. He reflects on the essay he wrote 8 years ago. He no longer wants to be a doctor. In his opinion, he does not need to go to university to know what his people, or African, if not blacks, want. The remedy that is required by his people is freedom, indeed not medicine. He no longer thinks that sitting in a classroom and listening to the teacher is still worth a while. Thami expresses his view on the annual visit of Davi. Now, let me pause here and then highlight some few, or should I say, important aspects of this monologue. We get to understand that Thami has always been brilliant, even from an early age. His essay caught the eye of his teacher, whom he even asked him to read it out to the rest of the school. And from the essay, we are able to deduce the fact that Thami was also ambitious and he wanted a bright future, as he wanted to become a doctor. Now, there's an interesting character that we get to see in this scene. I've said in the opening scene, or should I say in Act 1, where I spoke about flat characters that we often meet in particular scene, but we don't get to experience them fully. So Davi is one of the flat characters in the play. So every year, the regional Bantu school inspector by the name of Davi visits Zolila High School to give a speech. This year, he promised the students that they were going to join the elite and all of South African people who were going to be the shareholders of the country's future. Now, Davi's words in this monologue are quite ironic. Remember, ironic means that you say something, but the meaning implied is actually contradictory, or the meaning says something different from what you have just said. And in the context of the play, his words are quite ironic because given the fact that of the severe inequality, and black people are subjected to be the recipient of poor education that was known as Bantu education, and there's no way, therefore, that the poor resources that they are being given can propel them to a brighter future. So what he's saying is just what we call bluffing, or blasphemy, because it's not accurate. So Thami makes reference to his words in his monologue as a reflection to say he is not moved by his words, because Thami wonders what future is he talking about. The best students he knows who have graduated and are working humiliating jobs for white people in order to survive. Everybody can see the stark inequality between white and black South Africans. So Davi is talking as though black people are either blind or are stupid. Hence I say his words are quite ironic. Thami no longer cares to learn what they want to teach him in school, while school teach him the history of colonization in South Africa. Thami thinks that truly important events in South Africa's history are the conquest of the people. So indeed now in this monologue we really get to see Thami's character develop, and now he gets to associate more with the notions, if not the principles of comrades, more than the teachings of Mr. M. Remember, Mr. M vows for education and peace, to solve issues amicably through words and conversations, where now the comrades have different approach, that which is that of violence and of confronting issues rather than being polite towards issues. So from here, this monologue, we can deduce and see that indeed Thami is growing more fond of the comrade and the movement. And then he even mentions that what is important for South Africans to remember in as far as history is concerned is the Sharpeville massacre that took place in 1960, as well as the Soweto uprising with the youth of 1976, that which did the same act that Thami and the members of the comrade did, that which was to boycott schools in fighting for better education. But South Africans won't learn this history in classrooms. That's what Thami says. To learn their own, they have to teach each other in their homes, neighboring hoods and workplaces. Thami cries out Amandla, which is a powerful revolutionary word that is used to show that indeed now he is resolute. He has taken a decision to follow the comrades and defy Mr. M, and defy also learning as well as education. So it is now clear from this monologue, we get not only to see the reflection of the younger Thami, we get also to note the presence of Davi, who is a flat character, and how he was used by the apartheid system as a school inspector to go to school and convince black learners to continue to consume education as it was, and given the fact that it was not good education, hence labeled as Bantu education. And his words were rather, you know, I would say Davi's words not only were they ironic, but the statements that he made was as if he believed that black people could not think beyond what is that he was uttering. So indeed, that was this monologue is going to further help to build the plot towards the climax of the play. Thank you.